Hey everyone, my name is Jamie Lee. Welcome back to my channel and thank you so much for clicking on this video today. The first thing you're probably going to notice right away is that I am not sitting in my usual spot. I am downstairs in my dining room today because we've got a bunch of stuff up in the bedroom where I usually film these videos, and I am also sick, so I really don't feel like moving a bunch of stuff around to do this video. You may also hear me sniffling a bit. You may also see me drinking some tea, but I really wanted to make this video, so I'm going to power through, make it, and then I'm gonna go have a bubble bath. So I wanted to make this video now while everything is still fresh in my mind, with the hopes that in a few months or in a year, depending on how long it takes, I can update you. But I do want to make this video about laser hair removal. So if you have been watching my videos for a while, you may have already seen that I did go about a year ago, or maybe 8 or 9 months ago, to get my first Brazilian wax. So that was a pretty interesting experience. If you want to watch that video, I will put a little widget so that you can click on it and go directly to that up here. I will also make sure that I link it in the description, but it is one of my videos. It's in the floor chat playlist if you are interested in watching that. But one of the things with getting waxes is it seemed to, for me, make me get a lot more ingrown hairs. So I have always had problems with ingrown hairs with shaving. I've always had problems with it, but it seemed like when I was getting waxes, it was just exacerbating the problem, so I was getting them way more frequently. So finally I just said enough is enough. I went back to shaving for a little while and it just wasn't for me. I just found that the areas that I was getting ingrowns in really badly when I was waxing, now even though I had switched to shaving, I was still getting them. So I was frustrated. Obviously shaving sucks, you have to do it so often, and I was just tired of it and looking for another solution. So I ended up researching laser hair removal, trying to figure out if it would work for me, if it was something that I could accommodate in my lifestyle, because obviously one of the big drawbacks with waxing is you do have to go approximately once a month to once every 5 weeks, just depending on how fast your hair grows back. So I was going about once every 5 weeks. You have to go, you have to schedule the appointment, you physically need to go in, and you'll be doing that for the rest of your life. And it is painful, definitely. And you obviously have to wait between when you get it done to when you want to go back. You have to wait for the hair to almost fully grow back. So that for me also kind of put me off it a little bit because I don't want to have hair at all. So during my research into laser hair removal, one of the things that kept coming up was that basically to be a really good candidate for laser hair removal, at least in a very permanent sense, you need to be very pale skinned, at least in the area that you're getting done, with very dark hair. So the greater the contrast, the better they will be able to guarantee results, that your hair will be removed and that it will not grow back. So lucky for me, I was the perfect candidate for that in the areas I needed to get done. So I looked into a couple of places around me, read loads of Google reviews. Shout out to everybody who posts lots of reviews about service when they go places. I try and do that all the time because I know it's very helpful. So I found a place that was local to Kitchener. It was called New Age Laser. If you are from the area, if you have any experiences with them, feel free to let me know. But there were other places as well, including the place that I got my Brazilians done when I was doing that. But one of the cool things about the place that I am going, this New Age Laser, it is a place that only does like medical treatments. So they only do like laser hair removal, electrolysis. They do a couple other like very specialized laser related medical techniques. So I thought that why not trust it to a specialist rather than just having like somebody who usually does waxes doing it. And there were also a lot more reviews for them that were very specifically targeted to laser hair removal versus like just a ton of wax reviews that you had to kind of sort through for most other places. The first step, of course, was to call and get a consultation. On their website, there were some guides for prices, and in my area, it seemed like the prices ranged anywhere from like $400 for a Brazilian laser hair removal to like $1,000 or $1,200. So there was quite a large range, and I wasn't really sure like what the differences are, if there are differences, if it's more like you're paying for like a luxury experience versus like if the hair is being removed. That was my number one priority. I didn't necessarily care if it was a very fancy place. I just wanted it to be clean, obviously sanitary, and the people needed to be knowledgeable. I called to book a consultation at New Age Laser. They basically were very gracious, asked me what my availability was, and were able to meet with me same day, which was very cool. So I went that evening and had a great chat with the lady who does the laser hair removal there about everything to do with how much it will hurt, how much it will cost, what the aftercare is like, what will happen in terms of if the hair will grow back, when it will grow back, what you need to do in between treatments, how often you can get treatments. So that was very comforting. And then surprisingly, I guess I didn't realize, but she basically said like if I wanted to start it, I could start that day, like no pressure, but if I was like ready to commit to it, we could do it right away. For some reason in my mind, I pictured laser hair removal as something that took a really long time, like you needed to prepare for it in advance and it was going to be really painful. It took, no word of a lie, 2 minutes to do fully. So I went in, had this long consultation, and then was there for 2 minutes doing the actual treatment, which was awesome. I will say for people who have a very low pain tolerance, it hurts, and it hurts in a very different way than like getting a Brazilian hurts. When they're going over everything with the laser, basically what she's doing is going over every area like 2, 3, 4 times. So she's just kind of constantly sweeping over the entire area that you want done. And the first time she goes over it, you don't really feel like you can feel something, but I wouldn't consider it to be pain. And then the more she goes over it, the more you can just feel like stinging or like stabbing where each and every single one of your hair follicles is. She also warned me in advance that anywhere you do have ingrown hairs at the time that you go in will hurt way more. And they definitely did, because what is happening is the light from the laser is actually being attracted to the dark hair follicles. So it's directly like focusing in on the hairs, which is why if you have big contrast between your skin color and your hair color, it works better. I found that when I had the laser hair removal, about a week to 2 weeks after I got it done, all of my hair started falling out, which is very cool. I had whole huge chunks that just like one day I was in the shower and I got out of the shower and I had no hair at all. And that's very cool. Some of it has grown back, but not all of it. So I would say of the amount of hair that I started with after just one treatment, anywhere from like 20 to 30% is probably completely gone. Maybe even more than that, because like there are definitely chunks that still have a lot of hair, but there are also areas that have next to none, which is very cool. In total, for me to get this done, it did cost around $600. That did include, I put like a 10% tip on, and then with the plan to like give an additional tip kind of as I go. But $600 all in, if the hair is completely gone at the end, I think will be worth it. That is for 10 total sessions. So they recommend anywhere from 6 to 8 you should be hair free. And then she threw on an extra 2 free sessions, basically as like, if I don't need them, but like 3 or 4 years down the road, I notice like a little bit of hair coming up, they'll use one of those sessions to kind of just get those extra hairs, because you never know, like you might go through a weird hormonal cycle. Like say you end up having a baby and you might notice some hair coming back. So you could always put your extra sessions towards that. Or if you decide, you know what, I've had everything done, I'm happy with it now, you could always apply those extra sessions to a different area if you were paying to get something else done as well, which is nice. So we'll see what happens. I actually have my second session coming up very soon, so hopefully it will be as quick and as easy as the first session. One other thing that's very cool in terms of the amount of pain, one thing that I noticed with Brazilians is like, Yes, it hurts when you're getting it done, but it's almost like it hurts really badly when they rip it off, but then you're kind of okay. But the next day, or even like later that same day, I would always find that I was like really, really sore, and I would always get very swollen no matter what I did. So with this, as soon as the laser is turned off, like the minute that the laser is not over your hair follicle, it feels fine. You feel nothing. So there was absolutely zero like downtime. The next day I didn't experience any discomfort whatsoever. And you can also just shave regularly the entire time you're getting treatments, which is nice as well. You don't have to worry, you never have to grow your hair out. I actually had mine grown out for when I had my consultation because once again, I wasn't really sure what to expect. I guess I should have asked those questions in advance. But now you guys will know if you ever do it. I had grown it out and she actually had to just dry shave it quick before we did the treatment. So if you want to avoid that, make sure you shave before you go. They may ask you to save like a teeny tiny little test patch just so that they can take a picture or they know kind of like what you're starting with so that they can see the improvement over time. You won't have to do that going forward. You will be able to shave everything off. One thing you may want to also consider when you're looking at some place to get laser hair removal done, you do actually need certifications to operate the lasers, at least in Ontario. That might not be the same where you live, but I would definitely encourage you to look into it. You do need a certification. So if they are not able to produce that certification for you immediately when you ask for it, that's probably a warning sign. You should probably go somewhere else. But I know that in my area, I always see places hiring for new laser technicians because obviously this is something that's becoming very big as people get tired of having to do waxing all of the time. So I know that they're always asking people that if you want to do this, you have to come with your certification already. So make sure that whoever's doing it is not like some backyard. They just bought a laser machine and they're using it on you. They do need to be certified. I guess my biggest piece of advice to you guys is if you are looking into something like laser hair removal, first off, remember that it's permanent. So if there is even a shadow of a doubt about it, I wouldn't go through with it. Make sure in advance you do your research. Make sure that you're very comfortable with the person, with the place, with the company that's going to be doing this for you. And also make sure that you're comfortable with any risks that are associated. Make sure that you research fully into everything that's going to go on. Make sure you understand the process before booking with anybody. I think it's really important, and not everybody in the world is looking out for your best interest, so you need to really be an advocate for your own health and your own well-being, and that includes with something like this, like an aesthetic procedure. I would recommend the exact same thing if you're ever considering something like lip injections, if you're considering a tattoo, if you're considering Botox or plastic surgery, any of those things. If you ever get even a tinge of a bad feeling about something, don't do it. It's just not worth it, and you never know if people are just out there to make money off of you or if they actually care. And hopefully I'll be able to update you guys in the next couple of months on what the process is like, if my hair is growing back, if I have any more permanent results from it. But I'm very excited to be doing this. I really hope that it will eliminate my ingrown hair issue, which my laser technician did say that that's one of the most common reasons she has people in there for any area of their body is people who get a lot of ingrown hairs and they're just tired of it. So this is hopefully a permanent solution that will help with that. And also please know that if you do have darker skin or if you have lighter hair, there are some new laser techniques that are coming out and new machines that can actually work for that kind of hair, but they may take more treatments, they may be more expensive, you never know. But definitely consider calling around, talking to some specialists in your area, and you may be able to find somebody to help you out. That's gonna do it for me. I basically just wanted to share my experiences so far, but if you guys have absolutely any questions, definitely let me know. I can always ask my technician, or they may already be things that she's answered for me that I could help you out with. If you have already had laser hair removal on any part of your body, I would love to hear about it and get to know your experiences. Was it permanent for you? Did you enjoy it? Did you find it painful? And also, how much did you pay? Because I know different areas of the world have wildly different prices for things like this. So I think it would be really interesting to know. Please leave me a comment down in the comments section all about that. I would love to hear from you. If you enjoyed this video or learned something from it, please consider giving it a like. If you enjoy it and you would like to see more videos from me, please hit the big red subscribe button and be sure to hit the bell notification button to be notified when I post. I usually put out a new video every single Tuesday. And with all that being said, I would just like to say thank you very much for watching this video. I appreciate it. I hope you have a wonderful day and I'll see you next time. Bye!